Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WP Product Talk, where we talk about AI yet again. We are going to do it again because it's kind of everything that everybody's talking about nowadays, including us, all the co-hosts on the show. We're using it every day. We're leveraging it every day. We're seeing all kinds of fascinating and amazing benefits from it. But is it just a tool to build stuff with? No, you can actually run your whole business in a very AI principled oriented way, and that's what we're going to talk about today. This is WP Product Talk, a place where every week we bring you insights, product marketing, business management and growth, customer experience, product development, and more. It's your go-to podcast for WordPress product owners by WordPress product owners. And now, enjoy the show. Hey, Zack. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Matt.
I love your name today, Zack Ari.
Zack Ari Katz. That's how I pronounce it.
Nice. I do enjoy calling you Zachary just because it bothers you so much. But before we get into that, before we get started, everybody, if you benefit from WP Product Talk, we would love your continued support. The easiest way for you to do that is to follow us. Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. All of that helps us a ton.
Yeah, and I want to thank Freemium, we all do, for being our exclusive growth partner. Freemium helps software makers grow, monetize, and succeed. Freemium is a merchant of record platform, and what that means is they handle everything around selling software. Checkout, payments, subscriptions, licensing, updates, global tax compliance, all that stuff, so you can focus on building amazing products.
That's right. And for today, we're going to jump into the idea of AI first principles for running your business. And for this, we have invited a special guest named Anthony Franco. Anthony, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Absolutely. And tell the folks a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Why should we care?
I'll answer the first two. You have to decide the third. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started and exited 6 businesses. Over the last couple of years, I guess you could say I caught the bug in AI and have been working. Long story short, I had a client that is the leader in enterprise AI, saw how they delivered, and have been working with the CEO in helping them evangelize how to do AI right. And so that's really where AI First Principles is born, and the next projects that I'm working on as well.
Love it. That sounds fascinating. And you also have basically, tell us a little bit just about your open source project, the AI First Principles. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's just AIFirstPrinciples.org. And it essentially came from watching what goes right and what goes wrong in AI implementations. Not chatbotting, but actually creating, operationalizing AI, bringing AI and actually putting it to use in an organization. And then I worked on it with Rob, the CEO, and then we started to ask other contributors to it. So we have, 40 or 50 contributors of the who's who in AI on it, and over 5,000 supporters on it already, and it hasn't been out that long. So it's 12 principles for teams charged with bringing AI and making it a part of their company.
Love it.
So what's the difference between using AI and operationalizing AI?
Well, when somebody says they're in AI, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
It can mean they're working for NVIDIA or OpenAI doing inference, or they're in ChatGPT 3 times a day. There hasn't been until now a way to think about AI as a practice within an organization. I call it AI ops or agentic ops, but other people are calling it different things. But it's how do you how do you incorporate it as a discipline within an organization?
Yeah. Let me ask the difficult question right away. Should people operationalize it as an organization? Should we be trusting the machine with all of this important business data? What's the stuff?
Those are two different questions.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
yes. So the first question is, should you? If you don't have to, but if you don't, you're eventually going to be beat by somebody who does.
Yeah.
And should you trust AI? The answer is hell no. And one of the principles is actually it revolves keeping a human in the loop. So AI isn't something that you just hand something off to and let it run. You have to view it as a collaborator, not an employee. So it will level up you and your employees, but it won't replace it. So, well, there's two ways of thinking about it, and I don't want to go long here, but you can try to use AI to reduce headcount, and that's where everybody's kind of thinking about right now, and that's where all the news is. But in reality, the folks that are doing it correctly, they're 10xing their employee productivity. So instead of one employee doing one employee's worth of work, they're now doing 10 employees worth of work. So it's this mindset of abundance versus scarcity, and the people that are winning are viewing it as abundance. Like I can grow my company, grow my productivity, get my employees, get them out of the bureaucracy and the BS, and actually doing the work that the human brain is good for.
100%. I have seen and experienced that myself in different contexts, that this mentality that like, we'll just use AI and then we can lay off 10 people. And it's like, why don't you just use those 10 people to do a lot more work instead? Like you would be so much more profitable if you did it
exactly right. There's only so much you can cut, right?
Yeah.
And there's an infinite amount of what you can grow. So I understand. I get the need for wanting to reduce headcount or make your company more profitable by reducing headcount, but you can make yourself a lot more profitable and increase the top line as well by increasing productivity.
Yeah, 100%. So, Zack, I know this is a really interesting topic to you as well. I know that I actually nag Zack regularly during the week about ideas about what he's doing with AI. What's your take on some of this? How are you thinking about this idea of using AI or operationalizing AI in your company?
Yeah. So at Gravity Kit, we've been having AI calls every other week for the past, 9 months or so, where we share and explore different things that are happening in the AI space. We talk about how we're using it, how we might be able to use it. One of the things that's not been going that well in those calls is like sharing problem, like having it be like a problem solving troubleshooting session, which is fine. I think part of what AI enables each of us to do is to explore and troubleshoot on our own. But we then bring it questions and like ideas to the AI channel that we have on Slack. We talk about it every other week on our talks. One of the things that I've been doing is trying to operationalize the way that we interface with AI, because each of us has our little AI fiefdoms where we have our skill sets, we have our workflows, we have our prompts that we like to use. Some people might have like custom ChatGPT, like custom GPTs set up. Other people have whole like SQLite database systems on their local computers. And I'm over here thinking that there's a lot of knowledge that we need to integrate and share. And one of the things that I've been building and trying to get out there and have people contribute to is a Claude Code plugin marketplace, is a way that you can distribute some of the skills and some of the shared technology that you can use. It's like a repo that everybody can contribute to and update and have those skills automatically show up in their Claude Code instance. So that's an example of, okay, how can we take all the MCPs that each of us is using and bring it all into one place so that when we say do this, it works everywhere out of the box for everybody. That's kind of a tall order, but I'm seeing a lot of fragmentation in how we use the tools, and I'm trying to align that so that we all have a common set of practices that we can use.
Interesting. Anthony, what's your take on some of that? Where's your head go when you're thinking about first principles and the things that Zach's working on?
Well, so first principles is one thing. The other, and I'll talk about that. But where my head went is, Matt, you called Zack a nerd before we jumped on, and I think we're in this early adopter phase of AI, so it's really kind of the tooling for AI in doing what Zack is doing is really for developers. Like you said, Claude Code, and probably lost half your audience. Now, I might be wrong. You might have a bunch of developers that tune in, but in reality, AI for regular people is still relegated to chatbots. And so I think I'm in Claude Code and Cursor 8 hours a day, probably more. But I'm really focused on how do we bring those professional tools to consumers in a way that doesn't require a developer mindset.
Yep.
I was on a call with a friend yesterday, and this friend does sales and talks to a bunch of brick and mortar businesses all across the state, and his sales pipeline company, the company doesn't use AI yet. And I said, dude, if you set up this AI process, they already use HubSpot, they already have data enrichment going on, but they have manual bid preparation for putting together bids, where they had to drag and drop Microsoft Word things into Adobe Sign and copy and paste the link in an email. So took an hour and a half with him yesterday, got him set up. He's like, oh my gosh, this is going to explode my sales. Thank you so much. That type of the switch that flipped in his head was, oh, it's not just copy and paste ChatGPT, app or whatever. It is connecting to my computer. It's able to browse the internet. It's able to do all the grunt work that I had been doing and just unlock all of that and have me approve or reject or revise proposals that have been put together by AI and tweak them so that and then send them out. So unlocking from the copy and paste that Anthony, I watched one of your podcasts that you were on earlier, and you were saying that transition in that mind space between copy and paste and, I am working on files on my computer is one of the biggest things that we can do.
It's funny, right? That piece, that mindset shift is a little bit weird.
Yeah. I love it that way. I work in Cursor. I have everything on my desktop here, interacting with it, and I do agency work, working with clients, and I basically have a project per client, and I'm constantly adding additional knowledge into each client database so that I can just ask Cursor whatever question I need about what's our latest thing on performance for our email and whatnot. There were several things I wanted to do and accomplish, and sometimes the tools aren't quite there yet. For example, I love and adore Help Scout to death, but they don't have great reporting, and they don't have an MCP. This is where I said I ping Zack all the time. So Zack created his own MCP for Help Scout. And I was like, I'm stealing that for sure. And I use that, and then I just ask Cursor basically about anything related to the Help Scout account, and I get the information that I need. It's incredible because I used to go over those reports. I would export stuff and query stuff and filter and sort, and it would take me days to figure stuff out from trends in Help Scout. And now it's at my fingertips.
So Anthony, I think in this call at least, we all know how incredibly powerful AI is. But what you're talking about is an organizational structure and organizational approach to using AI. How this conversation, we were already talking about specifics. Can you help us frame this discussion around the org-centered nature of what you're trying to do with the AI first principles?
Yeah, so AI first principles is essentially, think of it as the Agile manifesto for the AI era. It's 12 principles that a company needs to adopt as their AI constitution. It's a suggestion around what they should be. And the first piece is know what AI is good at, know what humans are good at, know what AI should do, know what humans should do, and know where to put the guardrails. And that's really what the 12 principles are about. So the first component to operationalizing AI, if you're not a tech company, right? You need to get your head and your team's heads wrapped around what AI should be used for, and those are the principles. Then the next stage for you is I put it in 4 stages of AI maturity. Step 1, automate yourself. Step 2 is automate your team. Step 3 is automate your company. And then step 4, if you ever want to get there, is help other people automate their companies. And so AI first principles is the foundation of all of those. Even when you're trying to automate yourself, you need to understand when AI needs to bring you in the loop, when you need to self-heal the AI, how you need to enter and build your first agent. What are the things you need to be thinking about when you're doing that kind of stuff?
What value do I add that a computer cannot?
So ambition. So this is going to get a little philosophical. I've been pulling on this a little bit over the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of talk right now about AGI. Well, there has been for years, but it's really starting to say, well, AGI is going to come this year. And I don't think it is. Because I don't think we want that. I don't think we want AGI, because really to have true general intelligence, you have to have some human traits that I don't think AI is going to ever have. One is ambition. I think in a true sense of purpose, what are you trying to accomplish? And I don't think the issue anymore is, are the models smart enough? I think the biggest issue is, can the models do what we are thinking we want it to do? In other words, how do you translate what's in your head to an AI? And that's really hard, right? What happens, especially with the latest Anthropic models, it's really smart at executing on things that I poorly define. and I'm like, no, why'd you do it that way? It's not its fault. It's my fault for being able to translate that to it.
100%. I'm really fascinated by the way in which some folks talk about, like, I like the way that you dialed in on automation, basically, because that's basically the most tangible way that we see huge benefits in AI, is that we're automating work that we used to trudge through before. But what I keep trying to help folks understand too is that, like, the objectives of your business haven't actually changed all that much. You still are trying to execute on objectives in a meaningful way. And it's so easy, actually, because these tools can now do so many things, to get kind of rabbit holed into, like, oh my gosh, I can do this cool thing and this cool thing and this cool thing and this cool thing. And none of those cool things are related to your business objectives at all. They're just cool, fun toys, you know? But being able to do, if you can automate yourself, like you said in step 1, automate yourself with AI, what that does is that frees you up to have that ambition. Because I think I talk to so many solopreneurs who their pain point, they say all the time, is, I can't decide what is the next thing I have to focus on, because I have 30,000 things that I could be doing right now, and I want to do all of them. And I feel like what you're talking about here is freeing them up, giving them more capacity to do more things, and ideally giving them tools to help them prioritize a little bit better as well. Zach, does that resonate with you? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, it does resonate with me, but there's also a flip side. I'd love your opinion on, Anthony, is moving. So the more we use AI, the more we can get accomplished and do, but the less ownership we feel personally about having done something. So if I grind through migrating a database manually, and I move a website and I update the DNS settings on a website, and I've done something, I have sweated for it, and I say to the team, I've done it, versus I tell AI to do it, it's done. It's still the same magnitude of accomplishment, but I haven't actually done anything. And I think that type of ownership of the outcomes is tough. And Ian, one of our co-hosts, has a comment saying, use AI for everything, but make sure you fully own the work and outcome. I'm afraid I don't think that that's possible, where you use AI for something and then also have the same level of ownership over the work and the outcome. I think they are incompatible concepts. So at Gravity Kit, one of the things I'm struggling with as a leader and trying to communicate to the team and trying to have the team reflect and have their own opinions on is, what does work look like when you're able to do 10 times the amount of work or 50 times the amount of work, but you have so much less relationship to the work that you've done? How do we maintain our relationship with what we're doing? Is that something we need to worry about? But I feel personally a little lost from there's so much more I'm doing and there's so much less that I'm doing at the same time.
I'm struggling with the word outcome.
Well,
so
yeah.
Matt said it really well. He mentioned objectives. Actually, the third principle of AI first principles is people own objectives. In reality, you need. My mindset shift has gone from owning the outcome to owning the objectives. What am I trying to accomplish? You can't necessarily own all the outcomes, because you're right. AI is producing a lot of that work. So I've had to kind of shake some of my limited mindset of what I'm responsible for. I don't care necessarily about migrating a database myself. I don't want to do that because I'm migrating the database for a purpose. Why am I doing that? That is my objective.
Yep.
And so I have shifted from the tasks to the purpose, and AI has unlocked quite a bit of. Once you do that, you actually start to see where you're supposed to be going, and you can just do it a lot faster. It also gives me the ability. Here's a problem that I used to experience. I would do something and know it needed to be a different way, but let it sit because I didn't want to go through the effort of switching it. Now it's trivial.
Yeah.
So I am a lot more free to experiment and unwind and re-architect and refactor, not 100%. Just code, but the things that I'm doing, the way that I'm doing it, I can do a lot more testing.
Yep.
As long as I have the objective in mind, the how doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. The great analogy there, especially in the WordPress space, is I've worked with so many dev teams and product teams that will say, well, we need to be really strategic about how we build this out so that we're not creating a headache for us in the future. That whole conversation, I don't want to have that conversation ever again. It's amazing how AI could just be like, well, this code is a pile of heaping mess, but I'll just fix it. And it's like, well, now you don't have that. I mean, Zach might have a different opinion.
Yeah, there's still AI doesn't fix it very perfectly if it's not good code.
But I've used AI to refactor several things. A lot of my old code, and it just was like it doesn't make fun of me for my bad code. It just is like, I can fix this for you, no problem. And here you go. And now it's a reorganized mess, and it works. But it's like we don't have to have this whole let's be really strategic and build the perfect architecture so that a random dev can walk into the project and know what they're doing. It's not a random dev in the future. It's AI again, and AI is just going to be like, I can fix it. Let's run. That conversation is done. Now and that frees us up to do the objectives that you're talking about, because the architecture and the poetry of the code or whatnot was never the point. It was never the point. The point was the objective. What is this? What is the result of of this code? What is the total result of all of this code that we're trying to drive? We're trying to drive meaningful customer experiences. We're trying to be able to market something meaningfully out in the marketplace. That's what we're trying to actually drive.
So
I totally
one of
agree.
the things that I've been struggling with is, okay, so the customer outcomes is our objective. We want to make sure that we're aligned to helping our customers succeed. Sure. Second to that, and flowing from that, is we want to make money so that like our team is happy and successful, like, and we can grow personally and as a company and all that. Um, that all sounds great, but like in the AI era, one of the things is we're using these tools, and our customers are about to start really using these tools. So like I'm finding it really difficult to focus on, okay, customer outcomes now, but like I want to be skating to where the puck is going to be for our customers. And I'm finding that really difficult when we're trying to align to our customer needs now versus what our customer needs will be, or even like, okay, we don't have enough telemetry in our software to be able to fully understand our customers' user experience so that we can better align to their outcomes. Like all of it, that AI can do anything opens up that we should be doing everything to really try to nail down what they need. And I feel like a mild sense of panic because the whole world is available to us now. And as an organization, I've been trying to continue to maintain what matters is customer outcomes, but like internally, it's really difficult.
Mm. Is it though?
For me, I'm a scatterbrain. I don't know, man. Like, it's tough. Like, when building a new product, we're building a new product, and I want to make sure that we're closer to how our customers make money, right? So, like right now, Gravity Kit, you build applications, you can do like exporting, importing of data, all this stuff with Gravity Forms entries. Great, cool. I feel like we're a little far away from where our customers are making money, even though once they get up their applications up and running, it helps them. But like we're still a little further away from, we're not WooCommerce, we're not directly getting money in their pockets. So like how can we do that? And then I kind of spin out into, okay, well, the WordPress Abilities API and AI and integrations, and how will they be using this product in the future? And is AI going to just eat our lunch anyway? So I should really focus on the existing. It becomes like so diffuse as to like how we should accomplish the outcome of customer success.
I think so. First of all, you bring up something really interesting. What businesses is my business dead because of AI? And the likely answer is, if you don't do anything about it, yes. And I think our economy shifts from SaaS to services. I just as a fundamental way of thinking about tech. I think, and I think that's kind of being reflected in the market right now with a lot of SaaS companies taking the hit that they have on their market cap is because there's the days of 90% gross margins are kind of over because what they do is commoditized. So it does become we do become a little bit more bespoke services is going to is, and I'm not a futurist, so I'm probably totally wrong, but I'm thinking that we become more about the opportunities really are not creating the next SaaS product, because that's honestly anybody with Cursor and Cloud Code can probably replicate it. It's the expertise behind why the things are built the way they are and the services around deploying that for our customers.
That's a really good take, a really interesting take. I mean, it is a question that continues to come up on the show and in conversations all the time. Where is the moat nowadays at all anymore? And how do I protect myself? And thinking of us as, services instead of products, that you're scaring the bejesus out of the whole audience right now, if that's the case, because so many product folks got into product because they don't want to do services.
Yeah, I think the moat is the moat actually is going to be distribution and novelty. That's the moat. Your ability to come up with novel ideas very quickly, and your ability to distribute those ideas is that's the moat. Distribution is the moat.
So, and attention economy is a thing that we've heard about forever from outside when it comes to like social media and Netflix and all this stuff. But that's one of the questions I've had is, what does distribution look like in the near future? How do we, so like, let's say a customer has a feature request and we're able to one-shot prompt it and distribute that. Like, and that's what Matt's been doing with what's it called? The block. He has Jetpack as an AI block builder that builds blocks dynamically now.
Telex?
Yes, Telex, exactly. So like Matt's thinking along the same lines. How might WordPress product owners think about distribution and think about the being able to ship things faster and more directly to customers, so that we can release exciting novelty and maintain attention in this and maintain relevance, honestly, when AI is able to do so much by itself?
If that's a question for me, I don't have a good answer. I don't know.
I don't think any of us do.
It's scary for product people, especially technologists that built a really healthy business around their product. They're going to start having some tough conversations about, why don't I just build this myself?
Yeah. I like in the comments here, we have Nick McLaughlin here. He's a guest on the show recently. Hot take maybe, product is just services at scale. I don't know. In some way, actually, Matt Medeiros recently launched a new product that he vibe coded in a weekend. And he basically is giving it away for free. Unless you want him to install it and configure it and set it up for you, then it's $300. And I thought that was a really interesting model. It's kind of like the once model, where it's like I buy it once for forever, but it's like for free unless you need help, and then you just pay me a fee and I'll set it up for you. It becomes a product as a service model. I thought that, I don't know how well that's going for Matt, though. We've mentioned so many Matts.
I don't know.
I think there is a model there, though, that is, when I talk about niche or novel, I'm talking about your unique way of doing things. So that model really does work, right? So it's the freemium model, but it's the freemium plus services. That is absolutely a model that's going to work. There's also the Zack way of doing things, and having Zack has his AI that you can subscribe to that does the things the way he does.
Interesting.
So will those eventually become Claude skills? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
One of my friends and competitors, it is WordPress after all, they recently have updated their documentation to have the prompt that you should use to generate the right CSS to customize something. So, I mean, that's kind of... That's part of the the place where WordPress product owners are, is like, okay, so if the moat doesn't exist, how can I embrace the lack of a moat and make our customers' lives easier? I don't know.
We have another good question here in the comments from our co-host, Ian Meisner. He says, question for Anthony, what do I do about the 20-year-old recent computer science grads that are definitely about to lap me in terms of like their skills and ability and all of that? And he adds with tongue in cheek, I hope, Ian, am I allowed to tackle them?
I think 20-year-old CS grads are in trouble.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's no longer about computer science. It's about your ability to set objectives in a creative systems thinking, setting objectives, and experience of your domain.
Yeah.
Those are the moats. You do not need to be a coder to leverage AI like a professional does. You just don't need to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
Now, I used to be a developer, so I do have a technical background, but I haven't written a line of code in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I think the advantage is his experience and being able to set the right objectives and being able to listen to his customers, being able to design for his customers. Those are the moats.
So my question, one of the things that I've been trying to work out with the team, because none of us has the answers, is where does the ownership lie now for product? Because it had been that, a designer would design the user interface, then the developer would implement it, the QA person would test it, hand it back to the developer, user testing would have, like, all of these boundaries are gone in my perspective, except for very few, like the very technical developers, like the person on the front line of support who knows all the edge cases. The edge cases should be documented, and the support person and the developer might still. I don't know what to tell the team in terms of who should fix this bug.
I really want to hear from Anthony on this, but I have a great quote right here. If I can make this work.
We can see exactly it. Yes.
Can we see it? Are we good?
Yeah, read it out though.
What?
Read it out loud.
Yeah. So I quoted this one. But I'm saying a little bit of what Anthony, I think, is saying also, that the moat is when you hire, you're not just hiring somebody who has a narrow skill set anymore. You got to hire product people. Like, all of your people have to be product people. That to me is also the moat. This is I'll try to share this somewhere, but that's what this guy, I'm not going to try to pronounce his handle, but he says the most underrated hire right now is a great product person. And when I say product person, I'm definitely not talking about a product manager. Perhaps I think there has to be somewhat of a new role. I don't want to read all of this. It's too long, but it's a really good tweet. But he's basically saying that in order to be successful in your type of job and whatever you're doing in tech at the moment, you have to be a product thinker. You have to think like a product person, not just a support person, not just a marketer, not just a dev. And I have to say, personally, I've definitely experienced, in the WordPress space, the job of product very often is almost synonymous with devs. But I truly have mostly experienced that devs aren't very good product thinkers very often. They're just very linear and input-output oriented.
I don't think that's just devs. I think that's the way that people have thought about what their responsibility is to the product overall. Is like, I am a support person. I escalate bugs. I am a QA person. I find bugs. I am a marketer. I promote the not bugs. But thinking about the product holistically is a new skill. And I think that as product owners in the WordPress space, we are now looking at the rest of our team, or I'm looking at the rest of my team, and I'm trying to encourage them and train them and show them how to think about, okay, when you have this support issue, this is the problem, but this is the opportunity that exposes, and capturing that and using AI as part of that process to say, hey, support person, maybe this is a document that should be written, a documentation article. Maybe this is a feature request. Trying to make sure that our processes are in place to allow each of us to take further ownership over the different parts of our business.
So you're saying it's maybe a new role. I think it's actually an old role, kind of an existing role that's reconfigured a little bit. It's UX architects. That's so that ability to use design thinking and system thinking is essentially what a UXer does, right? They're the software product architect, the software product owner, and the UX discipline is the closest discipline that I think that if you're really good at designing user experiences, think of user experiences as thinking about the flow by which your customers follow through your product or through their lives, understanding, having that empathy of your customers, and then designing systems around that so to make their lives easier, to get rid of the bureaucracy. That process is a traditional user experience process. And if you're good at that, you're going to be great with setting objectives for AI.
Love it.
And for the record, I do think that even if everybody is a UX expert, there does need to be somebody who knows about development. There does need to be support lead. Like there does need to be somebody guiding marketing. There's too much for anybody to handle. And unless you decide I'm going to have an AI company, if you want humans in the loop, you got to have humans in the loop.
Yeah.
But that is an opportunity that we have now, is not involving ourselves in any of this stuff and just having AI build it. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
No, I definitely I have a couple of different clients right now who I observe their teams, and the ones that just have so much passion and energy are where it almost doesn't matter what their role is. They're all just focused on the outcome and the objective of the company. If they're a services company, they're all just so passionate about their customers, all of them across all the departments. Their product, they all are like, how can we make this product better? And I think that's the level up there, is being able to be a dev who's firmly a dev with the dev perspective, who understands the outcome that's larger than the dev product, essentially. And same thing with marketers, with support folks, understanding I'm supporting these customers for the purpose of making this product the best it can possibly be. This has been really, really cool. Really great. Anthony, it is the tradition, long-standing, of this show that we wrap up every single time by talking about our best advice for the people watching. If there is, let's say you're at a conference and somebody's like, oh my gosh, Anthony, I've been meaning to ask you, what's your best advice if I need to do AI first principles with my company? And you got like a minute to tell them as they go between hallway track stuff. What's your best? What are you going to tell them? What's your best advice?
You can't break it. Just go download Cursor, and just start playing with writing your own tools and systems. So I would recommend Cursor or Windsurf as your starting point, and just start playing with it. Ask it what it can do. Tell it what you are and who you are, and say, how can you help me? So the best advice is to leverage AI as a collaborator, and don't tell it what to do. Ask it. When you get stuck, ask it. That's the best way. Just start.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you can ask it, I'm copying and pasting all this stuff that you're giving me. How can I stop copying and pasting? How can I directly make these edits?
Love it.
Yeah.
Zach, what about you? What's your best advice?
Talk about it. And one of the things that I've tried to do at Gravity Kit is share my own lack of certainty, because these are uncertain times. And I think there's so much pressure as a leader to know what you're doing. And I've felt that a lot in the past, and I still feel that now, but I can tell the team, listen, my goal is for us to all remain hired and happy and working together and making the product better and leading to customer outcomes. We are all in this boat together. If this boat goes down, I'm going down in the ship with you. This is happening to all of us. So just talking about it, walking through the emotional parts of it with the team, talking about the uncertainty, but also the excitement. It's really exciting and really fun, finding that balance. And just I've been trying to communicate more with the team. So if you're already on the AI journey, that's one of the things that I've been doing, is just talking about it and meeting with your team regularly, sharing what you're doing, trying to open the channels of communication.
Yeah, I love it.
How do you, Matt?
Yeah, my best advice really is similar to Anthony's. I would say just get started, but I always say start with an objective, because it's so easy to think let me just AI everything. And then you could just like swim around and be lost and
Oh, it'll
never.
do everything like 30% and you'll be completely mad.
Yeah, you won't get anything done at all. It's like think constructively about what are the things I'm doing all the time that I want to do less of, and find that thing and then start on that and just be like, I think I can use AI to do this thing better. But I don't know how, but let me just start. Like Anthony says, I'm just going to start, but let me start with a specific thing. And I think that like having a first success, like actually another co-host of ours, Katie Keith, she's been saying how she has this FOMO feeling that she sees all these dev founders everywhere as being like, I'm AIing everything. Everything is AI. Everything's automated. And she's a marketing founder. And she's like, I'm lost because this is a dev tool, not a marketer tool.
Yeah,
But
that's the problem.
Yeah. She has started to really tackle it hard and get some help from other folks. And she's starting to have her first successes. She just posted this week, I think, that she actually built a few things with Claude Code herself now, which I'm sure is a great
Cohort analysis for EDD, which it's needed forever. And she's
oops, you got muted there at the end, Zach. Just as soon as you have an objective and you tackle it, and it might take a long time at first because you're figuring out the system and what it could be good for. Once you have that first win, then the other wins get easier and easier. And then all of a sudden you'll notice that like you are using AI for so many more things than you thought. So
yeah. Well, thank you, Anthony. That's a wrap for the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you online?
So the principles is AIFirstPrinciples.org. I'm also, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's just at Anthony Franco.
Do you have a book?
Or just go to anthonyfranco.net. Sorry?
Do you have a book or anything that we could buy?
I just published a book. It's called if you go to wisermethod.com, there's that maturity scale there, and I have some courses there, and the courses kind of walk you through the book. So happy to help folks. You don't need to buy anything. Just reach out to me and ask me a question.
Awesome.
Thank you. And if you're enjoying these shows, please again do us a favor and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It's free, easy, and it helps support our work. And special thanks again to Freemius.
And next week, we're going to have another guest on the show that's not necessarily from the WordPress space either, but I've gotten to know him personally and benefited a lot from all of his work in growth marketing. His name is Stuart Brameld. And if you want to learn how to grow your product, I think you're going to want to be here next week. So tune in next week. And thanks, everybody. We will see you on the other side. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.